In today's video, we're going old school, and the Stump Shop is going to show you how I turn this stump into a piece of home decor. So let's get stumping. In this video, we're going to be using this pine log here and turning this into a functioning piece of furniture. Now, it's been drying for years over here on my drying rack, so I always pick a piece that's ready to go, and in this case, this piece is nice, and based off its height and size, it's probably going to end up being like a flower pot holder, or can actually sit beside a little couch maybe as a side piece. But nonetheless, let's get started, and the first step is taking this bark off. Now in this case, we got super lucky because it's been drying for so long. Sometimes debarking, to be honest, is the hardest part of working with a stump. But when it's like this, it's got that black ring of death, I call it, meaning that the bark has already started to separate from the wood naturally, meaning I might not even need a lot of tools for this. But if I do, it's going to be the chisel and mallet to help remove some of this. Look at that. The jacket's coming right off. Now, once you've taken some of the bark off, it's also a good time to see, can I in fact work with this piece? Did I just uncover any rotting, any infestation, which usually after years of drying, that won't happen because even insects, after a while, there's just not enough moisture for them to survive. And I haven't seen one tiny bug come out of this, and it's been in my shop, like I said, for years. So this piece here, once we get it naked, we're good to go. Now that we've completely stripped the bark from this piece, it's time to take care of these little branches that are sticking out. Here we go. Now that all the branches have been cut off and obviously the bark has all been taken off, now you can tell that this piece simply isn't level. That's not going to be good enough for a side table of any sort. So what I do is I take the stump over here, and this is my stump leveling jig. Basically, it's like a router sled that I built for taller pieces. The way this jig works is once the stump is in, I set up the router sled, and I'm going to run the router right across the top several times to get one flat side perfect. And then I'm going to take that flat side and flip it over and do the bottom also. You're going to get a better look at this in just a few minutes here, but my stump is all set up. It's locked into place with these boards, and then the clamps hold it together. It's like a giant clamp for logs. And then up here, I've set the router sled to the right height to trim the first layer anyways. You always reference off the highest point, obviously, and then start to trim that down. Now that we have one side fully flat, what I do a lot of the times is I leave it in this jig because it is locked in and secured, and I'll grab my belt sander and finish sanding the top, because most woodworkers will tell you that getting rid of router lines from end grain like this is really hard. So I'm going to throw on a 36 or maybe 40 grit and sand this. At this stage in the process, it's still pretty rough looking, although perfectly flat. Now we move on to sanding. And when it's this rough, I'll start with like a 40 grit, maybe a 60 grit, just so that it makes the first layer very easy to come off. And then we'll work our way up in grit, probably to about a 150, maybe 220 on the top. I've come across a soft spot. Let me show you guys how I do some surgery on soft spots like this in the wood. The first thing you want to do is scrape away anything that's really loose and very soft and could be considered rotted out. And then let me go get my special concoction. This is what I'm going to be using. It's a wood hardener from Varathane, and I've used it many times on spots like this. So I've learned my lesson. It is very hardening, so it does actually work very well. But the reason I say that is because you want to be careful not to get it anywhere you don't need it. So I'm going to lay this stump down and actually transfer from this bigger container into this little small one where I can work, accurately, and then wait a few hours, and then we'll continue the process. One of the final steps is sanding. What I do is I've already done the top with the belt sander. So we're going to do an 80 grit, a 120 grit, and then a 220 on the sides maybe. I'll probably leave the top maybe a 150 or so because it really does affect the way that it absorbs either stain or finish. So you don't want to over sand it either. But basically sanding is next, so let's get to it. Now that the wood hardener has hardened, and that's what it does, right? It hardens the wood. All these little spots that were kind of soft and spongy are now hard. Now that she's all sanded down, I'm going to go ahead and use this pre-stain wood conditioner. I might not necessarily stain. However, I always end up using this first anyways because it's like a light coating of a polyurethane. So it starts to help seal the wood up. And then I might just go straight to a clear coat, but we'll see how that looks once I'm done. The pre-stain is especially important on softwood like this pine. You can tell it literally absorbs it so quickly. It's like a sponge, and then it helps, like I said earlier, even out the absorption rate of whatever is next, whether it's a stain or a clear coat. I actually really like this stage because you can start to see what the wood's going to look like. In this case, look at that. That looks beautiful. Now that the pre-stain is dry, I'm going to move on to the finishing. I'm not going to stain it. I'm skipping that step. I want to keep this stump as natural as possible. So therefore, straight to the wipe on poly. It's going to keep that natural color. If anything, it'll just amber it a little. But this is a satin finish. So it's going to have this nice dull shine when it's done. And there's so many different wood finishes to choose from, but I really like using wipe on poly. I probably use that on about 80% of my stumps, but that's maybe the number one question I get asked is, what finish should I use on my wood? And I tell everyone the same thing. Try out a bunch of different ones and then decide yourself because there's so many to choose from. I always like to pour some out into a little smaller, more manageable container. Now that the first coat of finish is dry, this next step is so crucial, especially when using polyurethane. Super fine steel wool, and you got to go around and scuff up that first coat. And I know it sounds bad, like you don't want to scratch up your finish, but trust me, you won't scratch it up. All you're doing is kind of scuffing up that first coat so that the next coat can stick even better. And then sometimes I'll do that two, maybe even three times before the final. Okay, I'm done. And then you just go through that same process again with the wipe on poly. And like I said, probably again after this one. Oh, I love it. Look how much richer the second coat is. It makes it look a lot darker, a lot more, I don't know, kind of like majestic almost. And that's how you turn a stump or a log into a functional piece of furniture. I really appreciate you guys watching, so please like, subscribe, and comment. Look at this piece. Once the finish is dried, this is going to look awesome inside anyone's house. Thanks for watching, guys.